Hey guys, how's it going? So my name is Kevin Banos, and I'm a fourth year industrial design student at Parsons School of Design. And today I just wanted to kind of go over why I think product sketching is really important in my process of designing products and just in general. So when I first got into product sketching, I remember I was a junior in high school. It's like about 3 or 4 years ago. And my professor was giving a quick lesson on ID sketching. And at the time I was studying, I believe, graphic design. And it really intrigued me just to see like the process of how these products are developed. I saw like a page of vacuums being designed, just a whole sketch made out of pen, and then I saw some concept sketches of a robot. And I just thought that was like the most amazing thing in the world. So ever since that day, I try to push myself a little more just to get into industrial design. So I started to look into schools like Parsons and Pratt, the New York City based colleges, because I couldn't really go out of state. And when I first got into the program, I had some experience with product sketching, but I wasn't anything near advanced, so to speak. And it really was a bummer when I found out there's no designated classes for product sketching. So everything I learned for product sketching had to be learned through my own time, and I just really had to push myself in and really discipline myself to keep on practicing this essential skill. So when I first started product sketching, I think I started off with some fundamentals. I would just draw objects that I see. So observational drawing is one of my fortes, and it's something that I repeatedly do at museums like the Metropolitan Museum of Art or the Natural History. It helps me put these objects of 3D and then start computing them into like 2D visuals. It's a really essential tool, I think, as a product sketcher and as an artist and as an illustrator to really copy what already exists and using that to your advantage. So after about my first year at Parsons, I started to realize that there were some skills that I was starting to lack, such as like the fundamentals. So I started to practicing my line work, and I began drawing boxes and ellipses, and I started to really see what really made a difference. And so some of my practices actually, or my warm-ups, so to speak, involve just drawing lines in random circles, and it kind of just becomes like a product or form. I keep it really open for about 20 or 30 minutes, and then I start developing a product that really depends on what I'm designing. So on some days, I actually might have like an hour session of warm-up and just draw lines. I would do this for like a week or two. Or some other days I would just draw the same chair but in different angles, different perspective, and then try to understand how it's built and try to see how I can use what's in front of me as a tool for creating a product in 2D or visually speaking. So I think, one of the most important things of product sketching is to draw from life, drawing the products that are in front of you. Not only does it help you understand how the product is built, but it's already something that's in space and already exists, so you only learn from it because it's already in front of your face, and it's just much more easier to work that way, in my opinion. Another important thing I think in product sketching is communication. So ideally, product sketching is supposed to be a tool for communicating your ideas. Whether it be for furniture or like a medical product, any product really, your job is to make sure that this 2D representation is the right tool to show the ideas that you're coming up with and that thought process through your sketching skills. And another important thing I think about product sketching that I found out actually within the past year is this idea of storytelling. So when I sketch, I typically just sketch mindlessly is like what I like to call it. It's just like I'm just drawing just to draw and just getting better at the hard skill itself, just trying to get better with the dexterity and the muscle memory. But then once I pass that phase within the product that I'm designing, I start to get into this like storyboard mood, and I try to see what are the best ways to tell the story of the product visually. So this is when I started to bring in hands, people, places, and just starting to put the product in context. I think it's something really important for product sketchers to know, and once you feel comfortable designing products, sketching them out, you can start bringing this storytelling element, and then this is when callouts become really important, I feel, or specific rendering, specific colors. You're trying to evict a mood in order to both communicate and tell your story. So those top 3 things I think are the most important things in my opinion for product sketching: observation, communication, and storytelling, and they all work hand in hand. So I think it's really important. In terms of observation, so when I sketch, I usually sketch and I would prototype. So the way they work is very, very close. They have a very similar relationship in the sense that when you sketch, you want to develop the product, you prototype it, you test it. Does it work? It doesn't. So then you use this prototype and you go back to sketching. Or perhaps you don't. Maybe you keep on mocking it up. But if you do, you use this as a reference point to continue developing your product. And from there on, you can keep on making your product. But to conclude, most products I feel start off with great sketches, and ideas are always great when they start off as a 2D representation. And yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say. And if I have any advice for any students who are starting off with sketching, is just keep on sketching and be very aware of what you're doing, both practically, like how you're sketching, fundamentally perspective, shading, rendering, but also the idea that you're trying to evict and what you want your viewer to get out of the sketching or the drawing. So yeah, thank you for your time.